You some breaking news right now on the heels of the Trump administration labeling China a currency manipulator. The IMF is coming out with its country report on China. This is important because the next step in the whole currency manipulator process is IMF brokering negotiations between the U.S. and China about the currency. So in this new report, the IMF appears to endorse the idea that China is not manipulating its currency, the yuan. The IMF saying that the external position in 2018 was broadly in line with fundamentals and desirable policies. And then later in the quote, here's the money quote here, directors concurred that greater exchange rate flexibility and deeper and better functioning FX markets would help the financial system prepare for greater capital flow volatility. Greater exchange rate policy transparency would also be important. Some directors also called for disclosures of FX intervention. So China not totally in the clear here, but at nowhere in this report, Wilfred, do they indicate that China is manipulating its currency. It's interesting this comes out. What we know and what I can tell you, according to an IMF spokesperson, is talks have begun between the IMF and Treasury, although it's unclear what comes next in terms of how they're going to engage China, because it appears that the IMF is more on the China side of things, which is that their currency is in line with market fundamentals.
Also unclear, isn't it, what Treasury would be pressing here in the way of policy, right? Because it was a relatively mild form of calling China a currency manipulator, right? Using one particular law versus another one. It's not necessarily the case that it was coming with some kind of particular agenda behind it.